Okay, so dude started at $739.65, yeah? Then, it's not a dude. She made a payment of 5%. So I did 739.65 times 0.05. You subtract them out, and this is what she owed on the day the statement came in. Does everybody understand that? If she'd made no more payments. Is everybody good? Okay. That is what she is charged interest on. She is charged interest only on her unpaid balance. Okay? So there is what she owed. Then she bought something for $179.39. Right? She probably bought one pair of lucky jeans or whatever the expensive jeans are now. So that is what she owed. $882.06. Is everybody good to there? That's how much she owed. But she also owes for interest on the unpaid part of her credit card. She gets a chance to pay off the $179. So she does interest on the $702, which I did right over here. All right? The interest rate divided by 365 over the course of 30 days. And that worked out to $3.56, so that's what gets added. Everybody cool? Then her minimum payment is 5% of that, $44.28. Because that's more than $10. If that was less than $10, she would owe $10. Gouda? Great. Any questions? Going once. Going twice. Going thrice. Okay. I don't even care if we mark it for points. Just do it. This is not about getting good math marks. This is about understanding money. So this one, Louis was asking about this one. It's just compound interest, except you don't know the R. Now, compound interest, since he's paying it over days, it must be divided by 365. But since he was given a period to pay it of only 7 days, he didn't get a chance to pay it out over the year. We have to make that 7. Then you do all your algebra, because all this is algebra, and you find that he's paying a daily rate of 3.65% per day. If he had to do that over the course of the year, what do I got to do with the 3.65? Multiply by the 365 days in a year. That would be his interest rate. That's appalling. That's why payday loans are evil. You think, it's no big deal, I only got to pay back. I needed that $500. I needed it, man. I had to pay for this right away. I only got to pay back 40 extra bucks, no problem. Until you look at it, what it would be over the year. Right? Everybody okay with that, or do I need to go through the algebra? I shouldn't. Do I need to? I don't mind. What B?
The annual.
Well, this is what it is daily. How many days are in a year? So that's what it is for a year. Yeah. You'd have to pay back 10 times what you borrowed. More than that. At that rate. Right? Nathaniel wants to buy a new bike. Here it is. Option 1, he pays the cash. He only has $400 saved up, so he takes out a loan. So he needs to borrow $1,655.99, yes? Run that through your TVM Solver. You have everything you need except the payment. You'd find the payment to be $74.16. Did you put it at the beginning or the end? Great. Doesn't matter. 74 is close enough, right? The pardon? Because it's compounded per year. So you got around $74. If he chooses the other option, he pays 12 times 180, which is $21.60, which means he paid an extra $104, yes? That percentage was 5.1%. Right? Calculate the total cost of each option. That's option 1, $400 plus 24 payments. That's option 2. Which one should he choose? Which one would you choose? This one's cheaper, right? But you got to have $180 free a month to pay for it, don't you? But you get to keep your original $400. This one, slightly more expensive, 19 extra bucks, but you've only got to pay $74 a month. Which means what could you do with the difference? You could put it in a savings account because you'd have $106 spare a month, wouldn't you? So over the course, if he chose this one, which is slightly more expensive in total, he could save 24 times 106. Because if he's got the 106 or the 180 to pay for this one, then that must mean he's got 106 spare dollars, right? And at the end of that 2 years, he'd have $2,500 in the bank. Yes, he will pay more total, but if he's good with money, he will have $2,500 spare dollars. Everybody understand? This is the type of decisions you have to make. Most people, how many of you chose that one automatically because it was going to cost you less? Be honest. There's nothing wrong with that. It just means you're not thinking about stuff like this. Right? For $19 difference, you could have $2,500 in the bank. What's wrong with that plan? Ain't nobody saving this. Right? No, I got 180 to pay a month. Nobody's thinking about it that way. How should you be thinking about it? That way. Right? Number 4. So it was that rate for the year, but they only did it for 21. So it divides by 365. But the time it was involved was 21 days. Oh, I forgot the 1 plus. And then that's going to give you a number, and then you got to subtract the 1629.53, because that's going to give you a final answer, yeah? Then you subtract out what you owed to get the interest. Same thing here. I remembered to write it there, but I forgot to do the minus 2639.99. Everybody good? Yes? I have an answer. Right? Okay. Good question. Watch. Let me delete all that. So you're happy to there, right? Okay. This is the daily interest rate. Yeah? So I must pay it for 21 days because I'm not looking at it for the course of the whole year. Okay? In the course of the whole year, there wouldn't be a divided by 365 because it would be 1950 for the year. Okay? All right? But because I am going daily, I find the daily rate, and I have to have it as 21 because it's not happening that many times. It's only happening 21 times. Okay? And then that will give me an answer of 1649 or something. I can't remember exactly what it is. And then you subtract out the original, what you owed at the beginning, and that's the amount of interest you paid. Okay? Everybody good? And then same thing down here. 30 days. Because it's only happening 30 times. Right? Then this one. This is just, you didn't need your TVM here. You just needed the regular formula, because she had $5,000 that she was just dumping into the college fund. She's not making any more payments. If you did use your TVM, right, then it would have been, what was her number of payments? Well, one. She put in $5,000, right? And then same thing here. Oh, no, this is slightly different. It's what we were just doing. This got you 1,009.91, and you subtracted out the original 1,000. Now, why is it 18? Because he took the money out on the 25th, and that went to May 2nd. So that's 7 days, right? And he has to pay interest on it because it's a cash withdrawal. If you read your notes, cash gets charged right away. So that's 7 days. And then he didn't pay it for another 11 days. So that's why it's 18. Does everybody understand? Everybody understand? So that's why it's that. And then this last one, this question is at the end because it harkens back to this question, right? There's lots of options, but there's lots of other ways to think about it. So, what can this guy do? What are his choices? He could get the bank loan. He could save up. He could pay off his credit card and put it on his credit card. Right? He's got all kinds of options there. You got to think about that. I assume, like always when I ask, nobody will offer their opinions here. Keegan, what do you think he should do?
I just said don't buy and pay off the credit card.
He said don't buy and pay off the credit card. Well, he owes $100 on that. Okay? So pay off the credit card and then save up is your choice. Okay, what else have we got? You really want it. You got $1,100 in savings. You can save $200 more a month. Which means, what does that mean? That you can save $200 more a month. That means you got $200 that's free, right? You can do anything you want with it. So you could have this thing in 8 months, couldn't you? You've got $1,100. You can save $200 a month. You could have it free and clear in 8 months. Right? Actually, you would have it free and clear in 9 months because your first $100 would pay off your credit card, right? So in 9 months, you could have it free and clear and owe nobody any money. Right? But then you'd have nothing in your bank. You'd be flat broke, technically, right? So what are some of your other options? You could just pay off the credit card on the very first month and just use that. Why is that not necessarily the best idea? The interest rate is 20% on the credit card. Should he use the credit card? No, your credit card needs to be an emergency because the interest rates are crazy high. Huh? Well, let's look at the loan. So the loan, he needs 6.5% per annum. How much does he need to borrow? No, because he's got $1,100. So if he wants to empty his bank account, how much does he need to borrow? $1,700, right? So if he had $1,700, that's what he borrowed. We can throw that into our TVM solver, can't we? Right? So, if it turns on, 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 on. On. There we go. So I can go into my TVM solver with this, can't I? 12 months. So what are his payments going to be? How many payments is he going to have to make? My TVM solver is not moving. There we go. He'd have to make 12. What's his interest rate? 6.5. What's his present value? How much is he borrowing? 1,700. We don't know his payment. We want his future value to be 0. It's 12 payments once a year, yes? All right, so let's find out what his payment would be. So you need to pay $146.55 if he takes the loan. The loan equals $146.55, right? And then he'd have the ATV. That means he's got $53.45 every month, doesn't he? What could he do with that in the first 2 months? Pay off the credit card. So then he would have 10 months times $53.45 of spare money, right? So he could have a bank account with $534 in it and have his ATV in 10 months. Everyone cool? Yeah, a very little bit, right? 20% per year. So that'd be $20 per year divided by 12 for the 1 month, right? So, right, $2 a month. So, but he's got 53 to pay it off. It would cover it, right? So that's one option. Not bad. You got your ATV and 10 months later you got $534 in the bank, right? Okay. What else could he do? What if he saved his $1,100 and took the whole amount? What would change on here? This would now be $2,800, yes? Does anything else change? No, so let's see what happens there. Well, then he would need $241. He can't do that, can he? But he could take a little less, right? What if he took $2,500? Oops. 2,500. 215, still no good. What if he took 2,300? Oops, I didn't change the 2,500. 2,300. Now we're in business, right? So if he takes 2,300, which means how much of his savings does he have to use? He's got to use 400 of it, right? I mean, I lie, other way around. He needs to use 500 of it because he's borrowing 23. So he would have 600 in his account, 600 left in his account, right? He'd have to pay 100 on his credit card. So he got 500 left in his account. Agreed? And at the end of 10, but he's got the ATV right away, just like he had before. And he's got 500 in his account right now that he could do something with. He could throw it into a term deposit or something like that, right? Pretty close, though, equally in choices, yeah? It's going to end up about the same. Unless he throws this in something at like 4% per year for 5 years. Now, what's wrong with this? The second plan, that's using his whole $200 a month. Can't save it at all. Is there a right or wrong way to do it? Are there better or worse ways to do it? The worst thing he could do is plunk it all on his credit card. What's he most likely going to do? Plunk it all on his credit card, because that's easy, isn't it? This requires you to do work. There's a reason rich people are rich. They check what happens with their money. There's a reason the rest of us are not rich. Not that we're poor, but we're not rich. If you ever have to think about money, you're not rich. And I still think about money. So I'm not rich, even though I make a good living. Should I be rich? Do I think about this stuff? When I'm teaching you, do I think about it in real life? No. Of course not. Right? Should I? Yeah. Am I starting now? Yeah. Is it too late? Not if I'm disciplined or if I move to Ecuador. Right? It's never too late. You guys, all this talk I keep telling you about, you got to be worried. Remember, if you live in Canada, as the first day you get your first paycheck, the government is saving you money for retirement. Right? My mother-in-law gets $1,500 a month to live from the government. She did nothing extra. That's how much she's got, just from her lifetime of working. Right? It's not a huge amount, but it's not anything to sneeze at. By the time you're old, you should have paid off your house or wherever you are living. She doesn't pay for her house anymore. She pays for her electricity and stuff like that, but, you know. And she could have done significantly better, right? Without me doing anything, if I continue to be a teacher until I'm 65, I'll get $3,000 a month with me doing nothing, just from my job. Now, not all jobs have that, right? Some jobs have nothing. You got to do it all. But whatever, right? Okay, so we're all good with finance? The whole point of it is you got to know what's going on, right? Like that credit card thing seems weird that you don't do the T times N. But you just got to think about, well, no, I'm only being charged my interest per day, right? When you do use the T times N, you're getting that interest that many times, right? You're getting it, if you're getting daily interest, for example, you're getting it 3 times or once a day times the 21 years. That's why you got to do 21 times 365. But in this case, it's not looking long term. It's what you owed right there just for that bit. Everybody good? All right, I'm done. You're in class for another 8 or 9 minutes or whatever, and tomorrow you're having a test on this stuff. Do you have to memorize the compound interest formula? No, I'll give it to you. I'll have the box of calculators.
Mr. Myers, are we going to get the calculators in the final exam?
In the final? I'll have them, yeah. So put them back if you've got a calculator of mine, please. What do you need, Rena?
I'm confused.
Me too.
Why?
Because I don't like this unit.
Who cares?
I don't care.
Why?
Me too.
What's going to happen to you?
Uh,
Your mark might go from 95 to 94.
no, I'm going to be cry.
Yeah.
You're going to cry
Me too.
for 1%.
Yeah.
Really?
Why?
It's only for 1%?
Why would you cry?
I don't know.
You're silly.
That's weak.
You're silly.
And Mr. Myers, is
What?
it like
Yeah,
how many
so
percent?
23.
Uh-huh.
So
So did you read this?
I read.
Did you read this about lump sum deposits? Where was it? Lump sum investments. Did you read this?
Yes.
Okay, so you filled it in.
I
So what's
did.
the problem?
The answer was different.
Which answer? The one,
I got this anyway.
that's what I got?
Yeah.
Well, let's see. Yeah, give me the calculator. It's easier than using this piece of crap.
It's like when they have like pep rallies. It's just a free ball. I just see some of the people that
Okay.
私も見る。
Also paying $1,000 a month. So you started
そ
at
こか。
that. There we go.
Oh, I did. Well, but like, he's paying like 100. So
Yeah.
it's gonna be his minus going.
Yeah, I might have made an error. So that's what's going to be in his pocket. 1,000, 10 years, make 100 a year, or $100 a month. So that's 1,200 a year times 10 years. 1,200 a year times 10 years. Yeah, I would say, yeah, you're probably right. That should have been minus 100, and that's probably the right. That's the right.
Okay.
So don't worry about it.
So 24.
You would show me this, right? It's probably the same thing. I probably did the same thing.
I got like.
I probably forgot the negative in 500. That would be my guess.
And then when we like solve, when the question asks like how many years, like how long will it take, do we gonna put begin
For
for 24
what?
or end?
What we're saving up.
So begin,
Yeah. Okay.
and I got like 76 months.
Okay.
Okay.
That's not that long. That's only 6 years.
りなちゃん。
That's probably what I did. I probably just forgot the negatives.
数学80%を教えて80%受かる気になる。今回のテストって何回？